That's a feeling that I'll never be able to put in words, to be in that hospital bed, not knowing really what's going to happen, sitting there just coming out of surgery, but getting all the support, as I said, from family, from coaches, from former coaches, from teammates, and the Cowboys Nation, and even a lot of you. I'm just so thankful for that. But I'm healthy. As I said, I control what I can control. I followed the doctor's orders the whole time, put in my own work ethic to it. And as you said, you saw me walking out here. I've been on that field back there. I'm healthy. I'm getting close, but I'll be ready when it matters.
When will you be 100%?
So when I first got hurt, the one thing that I said I wasn't going to do is put a time point on it because of so many different variables and things that can come up. And so, as I say, I'm ready and I'm getting close. I feel good. You saw me walk out here. I can do a lot of things that I obviously couldn't do weeks ago and even days ago that I'm doing today. So it's hard to say that I'll be ready in this time or that time, but I'll be ready when it matters, and I'll be more than healthy and better than I was before.
I think there's part of it where he's kind of talking out of both sides of his mouth on that thing, and that's fine. Getting ready, getting close, that's fine. I don't think it really matters until training camp, and as long as he can start the season and put that injury behind him, that's his right. He's got his right to his medical privacy and all that, but I mean, to say I'm totally on track, but I haven't put a timeline on it, I think gives you a pretty good window into the ambiguity that he and his camp are putting on this situation, and it's by design because because
it didn't go perfectly is the reason. Yes, it did not go perfectly, but he's talking there about one, what does matter, which is when it matters is when it matters. And there's a reason he wouldn't say I'll be ready at the end of the month or I'll be ready next month because he may not be. But if they believe and he believes and their doctors believe that he'll be ready to play football when it's time to play football, all right.
Yeah, I think that's all that matters as long as we know that we all get to Oxnard and we get to evaluate practices and he's out there participating in those practices. I think that's really the most important thing right now.
All righty, it is the G-Bag Nation here on 105.3 The Fan. We're getting some great text in from you guys, and I do want to get to some of those. He says he's insulted when people say he gambled on himself. I think that's really interesting. That gives you an idea into how strong faith is in his mind. He's really letting go and letting his spirituality sort of guide the way and worrying about what he's controlling. I do feel like objectively they did bet on themselves, him and his agent, but in his mind there was no bet. It's all God's plan, and I thought, man, that's really walking the walk, and that's inspiring, and I think that's pretty dang cool. People that are highly spiritual, they do spiritual stuff. It doesn't always make sense in the world of logic or objectivity, but it's their truth and it's their path and they're walking it and, they're joyful and successful. So more power to them is what I say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think with Dak, to me, the biggest takeaway every time they do something like this and he talks is that Dak's an inspirational guy. And you see why 32 teams in the league may not want Dak Prescott, but they want that dude, that person, that leader. They want that guy. What did he say about pressure? People were asking him if he, put a lot of pressure on himself now that he's paid. And he's like, pressure is a privilege. Yeah, I welcome that. That's awesome. He's the dude, and that's part of the reason that I believe in him, and I think it's a reason that a lot of people believe in him is because, look, I disagree with what Roger Staubach told Jerry. Jerry said he asked him, do I want a guy that can run or the running doesn't matter? And he's like, you want a guy who can lead. And I say, yeah, that's an awesome thing to have. But if he doesn't have the skills to play quarterback, I don't want him anywhere near my team. He can go do a different job and hang out with the guys. But if you can play quarterback at the NFL level and do it well, and you're that sort of dude, it's the kind of guy that I think that's even a part of the reason the Cowboys knew they had to sign him. Because I think a lot of their fan base feels that way about Dak, that he's that dude and he's that leader. And they knew, look, they wanted him anyway because he's a really good quarterback. But they knew that their fan base loves that dude because of the dude. And he's a monster.
Yeah, he's able to take things like what's happened in Philadelphia with Carson Wentz, and we talk about the things that, Carson Wentz is not able, I don't think, able to move thoughts out of his head. Dak Prescott was talking about that, and his ability to when they're asking him questions about doubt and what people are talking about him, he says, I can only control things I can control. But he's able to take those thoughts and put them away. Mental toughness is such a huge part of being successful. Yeah. And he has that mental toughness that we all would love to have. That, as we compare him to these other quarterbacks, that's why I believe a lot of these guys move on, because they don't have the mental toughness to stand in there and go toe to toe every day with expectations that people have for you.
Well said. It eats them alive. Okay, we're going to step aside. Fish has takes on it, on the Dak Prescott big contract press conference that we're basking in the glory of just 20 minutes ago. Great reactions coming in on text. We'll get more of your thoughts coming up later on here in the nation. But I want to chat about.
All right, Cowboy Nation, really appreciate you guys for being part of this thing. He's right about a few things, and they're wrong about a lot of things, but it is one of those things where we going to have to sit back and look at this thing and say to ourselves, all right, cool. This is what the core principles of this team, this is the core principles of, said, Dak Prescott, and this is how we're going to roll with it. I really appreciate those who watched me for the hour stream earlier. Here's my thoughts, and my thing is, when somebody say it's faith versus gambling, faith is on the spiritual side, whereas you can't really see faith. You can't touch it. It's unseen, it's untouchable, but it's something within inside of you. And if Dak Prescott have that belief system, then whatever anybody says, right, is not going to resonate with the populace. People thought Noah was crazy when he was saying, hey, there's going to be a flood. He's building a boat. And they were sitting there saying, man, where all this water is going to come, right? But he had faith. He understood that, hey, I'm going to start building this boat. And when it's raining, don't come to me looking at me like I'm crazy, because now you're going to start believing in me. So if Dak Prescott have that belief system, if he have that thought track, then we can't go back and forth with that. Now, the tangible things that we can see is Dak Prescott literally said, hey, I'm walking up on the stage, right? I'm being able to jog or run if I wanted to, and I should have. But therefore, I'm just going to walk up here, and I'm going to give you guys my thought and my belief systems. Now, my thing is, and I love the objectivity, Cowboy Nation. Appreciate you, Akeem. Appreciate you for jumping in, Donald. Appreciate y'all for being part of this thing, Curly. But my thing is, when Dak Prescott said, hey, I got a call to come through. When Dak Prescott said, hey, man, I'm not playing for money. Well, look, you don't have to say that, Dak. Just tell the people, hey, my passion, my heart, my soul and sinew is for what my belief system is. And also, I play for the glory of the game. But don't start throwing money in, because now people can take that and say, nah, dog, you playing for something. You playing for something, because you can't have it both ways. But shout out to Dak Prescott. He got his corn. He got his bag. The press conference was nice. Jerry, Wayne, and things. Hey, it sounded like he had some of that Johnny Walker Blue. It did. It sounded like he had some of that Johnny Walker Blue. But we got to understand this, Cowboy Nation. Shout out to you, Adrian Perez. I saw you earlier when we was having the live deal, and I couldn't shoot you out that shout out. But shout out to you, Cowboy Nation. What we got going on now is we got to focus in on the defensive side, regardless. Because one can say, well, Dak Prescott this, Dak Prescott that, but we got to have defense. It's crazy enough to believe that, hey, we can put 30 to 32 points a game, but if we still lose by 10 points, that's crazy. That's flat out crazy. What's up, Marvin? Appreciate you for jumping in. Jay Furzik, man, appreciate you. No one player the sports for free. No one plays sports for free. Yeah, it's a gladiator sport, baby. It is. It's a gladiator sports. And and if you don't have the mindset to say to yourself, all right, I'm playing for generational wealth to set my family up and my future kids. He did say that. If I'm not playing for that, then it's worthless, right? I believe in the hearts of hearts that he's playing for all of those things. but it's political. Shout out to you. Akeem says no excuses now. Yeah, I said on my page earlier today, I said this right here. We can no longer use Dak Prescott as a 4th round draft pick. He's a 4th round. He wasn't even the first pick out of the 4th round draft pick and say, well, he had this and had these limitations. No, Dak Prescott now, and I support the brother, but Dak Prescott now is a $40 million contract guy. He's a $40 million Cowboys quarterback. And I always say this, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. You do not go out there and purchase a BMW with the expectations for it to run like a Honda. That's all I'm saying. You want that BMW to run like a BMW. So what Law Nation's mindset would be, and I agree with my dog Akeem, you know, it says no more excuses, no excuses. Let me see if I can put your comments up there on the screen. But that's my mindset. Those are the accountabilities, or those are the accounts that I'm going to hold you to now. Because if you're asking for these type of things, then therefore you should be able to return the type of results what you're asking for. Right? Let me know if I'm wrong. I know a lot of people will say, well, Law, you're always on this side of the coin. You don't look at the full picture. Let me know if I'm wrong. Defense now? Yeah. So let me pull up the screen right here. Defense now, yes, I agree. Dak, appreciate you, Keith Young. Appreciate you. I'm trying to find my little chat box so I can put it up there. Bam, there we go. Leron says, you're right. So all of the and I call them haters because they normally just sit on one side of this of the conversation with Dak Prescott, and it's more so he can't do this and he can't do that. All of the Dak Prescott haters, if you guys want to be labeled as that, and don't tell me that you're a Cowboys fan when you actually root for somebody to lose, but that's a story of a different day. But if you want to hold Law to one thing, you can say, well, Law, you're right about this, baby. You're right about the fact that Dak Prescott is a $40 million quarterback now, and we can't use the fact that he's a 4th round draft pick. You're right about that one. So now our expectations, just like if you go out there and buy a luxury vehicle, you expect it to perform as the luxury vehicle. I'm still waiting on them to jump back in. We'll go back and forth with that. Adrian, what's good with you? Gotta screw up the secondary. My thing is with the secondary, there are some players that's out there. I think that, you know, some people are not going to get renewed as it relates to their quote unquote contract or get signed. And there's a lot of people who's not going to get franchise tag. So I think there was a Malcolm Butler out there. Was this a guy named? Used to play for the Patriots, got traded went to the Titans, and now he's on the market. I think he's 31 years of age. And let me see if I can pull this up. Let me go right here. And Mike Yelkin, he said the Cowboys will be awarded up to 4 compensatory picks for the 2021 draft, including a 3rd round pick for cornerback Byron Jones in the free agency. He went over there to Dolphins land, so that's a good situation for us. So we need to look at those compensatory picks. We need to look at these draft picks and still lean on the aspect of trying to find ways to plug into that defense. We do. Here we go.
Can still be very, very inspired by the way he goes about his business and keeps his priorities in order. You know, he is a stoic alpha, if you will. Nothing bothers him to the extent that he's going to let on. His eyes are on the prize. And he has overcome the loss of his mom and his brother now, and he just keeps going, doing more. With a smile on his face, shoulders back. He's holding his own amongst billionaire businessmen. He just gave them the biggest fight of their contract lives in their 30 years of owning the team, okay? Now, that's totally different to me than is he good enough to win with a maxed out salary on a normal NFL roster. That's a debate. What's not a debate is the man's inspiring. Miserable SOBs.
I agree with you. I think there's just a lot of people that are just really negative, and I've made it my vow to just not worry about it. Like,
right on.
Gavin and I will debate the merits of Dak Prescott as a player, and sometimes it'll get heated, and we'll have fun, and we'll do sports radio topics on it. But people who are just like, "Oh, he sucks! What a loser! I can't believe they paid this guy." It's like, you guys can be that negative, but I just won't read the text for a while because I just feel bad because I'm like, man, that's your life outlook. Because there's nobody that's listening to Dak Prescott and like, oh, what a loser.
Yeah. How could you? I mean, I guess you just want to troll on the text to get a reaction or something like that, or you can't compartmentalize that a person might have qualities because occasionally they don't win the football game. I don't know, but please, I'm praying for you, okay? It is the G-Bag Nation here on 105.3 The Fan. Time now for Mike Fisher. Fish, how the hell are you?
Think on that.
Yeah? I hear you.
It's arguable. Oh, you got me?
Yep, we got you now.
Okay. On
Y'all
the
can hear
topic
Fish, let me know.
of what you're saying about Dak the player, Dak the person. That's Stephen Jones, and what he said was inarguable, although, again, as we mentioned yesterday, we live in a society now where everything's arguable, that Dak checks those boxes. Now, he doesn't check all the boxes. He is not the most accurate thrower in the history of football. He is not, somebody said he's a perfect fit for the Cowboys. That's not true. Perfect fit for the Cowboys is 1986 John Elway. But in terms of checking the boxes, this is why he's a root for guy. And I've said to Sean Sharif many times, you pick the number that you want to pay for him salary-wise. You want to pay him $35, fine. Then I'll pay the other $5 for Dak the person. And that's what Steven's talking about. He was at the facility this morning working out. It doesn't mean that behind the scenes he doesn't have his fun. He does. He's not a robot. But in terms of being faith-based, Zen-like, eye on the prize, I think he's a person to admire. And hopefully, Gavin, he'll be a player to admire for the rest of his career as well.
He's zened up. I like that.
No doubt.
I think,
there's a lot of guys who are Zen without even knowing they're Zen. I don't know if he knows he's Zen, but he absolutely is. The fact that nothing particularly flusters him is going to serve him well as a guy who's now going to have the job. Gavin, tell me if you agree with this. This is the most high-profile job in sports, all of sports, singularly.
Yeah.
Cowboy quarterback. The tradition and the pressure and the spotlight and the money and the expectations and all of it. I don't know what's number two, but this is number one, and this is a guy who is uniquely qualified to handle that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think it might be by design there, his whole Zen thing. There was 2-3 years ago when Jay Jeezy was bringing, yoga people out there on the practice field. And we did an interview one afternoon with him right after that, and he was like, yeah, it wasn't really stretching. It was more like breathing. And they were down there for an hour. And you could tell he was on some next level relaxation. So I don't know if he does it regularly or whatever, but he'll hit on themes there that often make me wonder, and maybe that's just Jason Garrett's influence and some of that athlete speak, but it's so consistent. And then there towards the end when he was talking about his message for the kids and you can manifest what you want in the world, that's more sort of Zen talking points. But anyway, Fish, the day's so much more about that. What else is on your mind relative to the presser?
They could someday even grow up to be sports writers, which I don't, that's not a very high bar, but I appreciate him throwing it out there. About 30 media people were here at the Star in chairs with masks, socially distanced, as you saw up on the podium, socially distanced as well for Stephen, Dak, and Jerry. I thought it was interesting that when somebody asked about, do you think you're the best team in the NFC East now, Stephen and Dak were in a race to say yes. Dak said yes, and Steven said absolutely. Maybe that's true, or maybe that's just the high that they're on right now. I don't think it's appropriate to disrespect what Washington did. I don't think it's appropriate or accurate to throw away what 6-10 was. It was a very real thing. We do know that the Cowboys are in the process now, probably in the coming hours, of flipping some of those contractual switches. But and by the way, the optimism was so buoyant that Jerry let out of the bag. We're going to have full capacity at the stadium next year. And Gavin, we're going to Oxnard, baby. So get your bags packed for that as well. I think that when both sides talked about there was never any doubt, I think that's close to true. Maybe they just didn't know how they were going to get to the end. But I do think that there was a vision that Dak's had for a long time since he was a little boy. I want to be a Dallas Cowboy. And he said today, wear the star for life. And Jerry felt the same way from his perch. Then it was just a matter of how the heck do we get there? And again, I don't take anything away from their right to celebrate this. Now they got to go get to work and figure out the rest of the roster.
Okay, and how about the injury slowing down his running or playing physical? What do you think about what Dak had to say about that? With him, got to be smarter.
Here, the belief is that he will be 100% healthy by the end of April. We shall see. The belief is that he will be a full participant. We're told in off-season workouts. Again, we will see as we go. And then there is, as you mentioned, the idea that maybe I need to be more careful. Maybe I need to be smarter. You can pick the certain word you want to pick. For instance, Jeffrey, you know this. Brian knows this. I think more than a casual football fan recognize this. You at some point tell your right-handed quarterback, don't use your right arm to stiff arm. Right, Jeffrey?
For sure.
Just don't do it. You're gonna break a finger, and then you can't play quarterback anymore. So those kind of things can be a difference, Gavin, in the way that he plays football. I don't think we're going to see, like an end of Franco Harris' career where he was running sideways out of bounds. I don't know if you guys. Oh, Gavin, you remember that with Seattle, right?
I don't remember that. No, it was a little bit before my time.
A little before your time. Franco Harris, who was just a bull as a player for the Steelers, at the end of his career would run out of bounds sideways to avoid getting hit and give up 5 yards. I don't think you're going to see that out of Dak. Jerry, of course, came on 105.3 The Fan with us, Sean and I, not long ago, and said, running quarterback, yes, but being too daring about it, no, we'd like to slow that down. So I think Dak's comments reflect the wishes of the owner there as well. And then remember what Roger has told Jerry and Roger Staubach, and they've told this story before. When Jerry asked him, do I need a running quarterback? He says, you need a leader quarterback. And they absolutely have that.
Mike, what did you make about Jerry admitting that Dak got him on the negotiations by paying too much?
It can't be argued about who won the negotiations.
No, I'm not. I just was curious because he admitted, he said, hey, I'm happy if there's a guy that's going to take me. This guy to my right is going to take me. I'm happy about that. But was that necessary?
Brian, when Jerry came on the radio and said Dak's got all the leverage.
Yeah.
That's one of the worst negotiation tactics I've ever heard. But by gosh, it was the truth. And as you know, Brian, Jerry is telling the truth when he says that the things that I cherish the most that I've ever bought, I paid a lot for. And there's no doubt he paid a lot for Dak Prescott. At the same time, he's also telling the truth when he feels like we won. The Cowboys won. Everybody won. Sure. Now, as always, go win a football game.
All right, Fish, anything else before we let you go?
Fish out, huh?
I think we lost him. There he is. He is at Fish Sports on Twitter, reporting live on the Cowboys Dak Prescott press conference that we had from before the show started all the way through the majority of the first hour right here on your home of the Cowboys. And we'll continue to react to a lot of the stories that and headlines that were created there in the middle of that presser. My awareness of the Seahawks, though, just so we're clear, Brian, it started with Dave Craig trying to avoid fumbling 3 times per game. Yeah,
it was a problem there when they were dealing with the Kansas City Chiefs. All those sacks he took that one time, was that?
Oh yeah. It was he had those small hands.
Yeah,
so he could barely hang on to the football.
It's funny. He should have asked me because I do remember Franco Harris playing for the Seahawks and running out of bounds. So he's right about that. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I grew up also about 3 hours from Seattle, closer to the city of Portland, Oregon, right there on the Oregon-Washington border. So,
I mean, those are some good points there. Whenever you trying to play this sport, you begin to figure out ways to evade, ways to stop getting injured. Michael Jordan used to be Air Jordan, right? But as time progressed, he had to change. He had to figure out a new way. And Jordan, when he started to perfect that fadeaway, boy, it was a great tool to use because now, although the opposition may be a little bigger, maybe a little stronger, they lean on him or what have you, it's all about creating that space. So he had to perfect the outside jumper, and he also had to perfect the fadeaway. We do things to evolve. Good players evolve. There's another great player that got 7 Super Bowl rings, and his name is Tom Brady. We got to give him credit on that, but he figured out ways, changing his diet, knowing that, hey, in football, you'll never be 100%, but you got to figure out how to be craftier in a sense, Tom Brady never had the strongest of the strongest arms, right? He never was looking like, I guess an athlete per se. But when you look at the picture of Tom Brady, you be like, man, this dude can't play. But he put it out there and using more mental capacity, right? Going through a whole bunch of other things to find ways to win. And if Dak Prescott can develop that part of it, knowing when to get out of bounds, knowing which arm to use as a stiff arm, then we'll be in a good situation.
Take those types of players and scale them back and say, okay, get down, it's difficult. He plays when he gets physical in a game. That's when he plays his absolute best. When he feels the hits and the flow of the game and stuff. We've seen him move around the pocket, make throws, make runs, lead drives to bring them back in late games. He fires them up. It's hard for a guy to he can say all that right now, but I guarantee you the first run he has, he is going to try and run over somebody.
They got to muscle memory him into it. We're like, I promise you, on 3rd and 3, Dak ain't sliding.
No, he ain't.
On 3rd and goal, Dak ain't sliding.
No.
But on 3rd and 1, when it busts wide open and you run and you've already gained 15 yards and it's time to go run out of your way to stiff arm Josh Norman, let's skip that one.
No, he's going to take. He's going to take that. He's going to take that. There's a reason why his guy's right wrist taped up like he does, because he's going to shove that hand right in that guy's face as he's holding the ball in his left, and then he's going to try and get another 6 or 7 yards out of that.
If you have already achieved first down status, you may slide, sir. That is when I need you to slide.
Okay, we do have Stephen Jones joining us right here on your home of the Cowboys coming up at 4 o'clock, so we look forward to that conversation with Stephen coming up at 4. Up next, Jerry Jones was asked what's left to fix the defense. We'll give you that cut right here in the G-Bag Nation.
All right, let's talk about our guy Brad Sullivan there, Gavin, at dreamlending.com.
All right, so as they go to a commercial break there. All right, so we're going to hear what Stephen Jones got to say now that everything is out there. As well as I see it, Keith, you said, Tom Brady is still doing it. So, that's my whole mindset to it. He's still doing it because he figured out ways, right? Figuring out ways to save himself. And you got to play through injuries. The brother played through injuries this year. Didn't he have to have some corrective surgery this offseason? So that lets you know that he was battling through something. And even Amari Cooper, he's battled through something too. As much as we talked about Dak Prescott and his injury, Amari Cooper can barely run right now because he had his corrective surgery. And I should have put that out there. But shout out to you, Italian Cowboy. Really appreciate you for jumping in. So you always got to reinvent yourself. You always got to look at it like this and say, all right, cool. How can we revamp this thing? How can we better our best? How can we make this thing shake? At this time, I really appreciate everybody for jumping in. We'll be back and forward, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this out here in the link machine, and you guys can jump on in and give me your thoughts of the press conference. That the link will be in the description box, or if you're on my Facebook, it'll be in the description box, and if you're on my YouTube page, you will see it in the chat area. Should say StreamYard. Just click on that link, jump on in, and talk your mind, spit your mind, and then we'll still be jumping back and forward as it relates to the quote-unquote interview process with the Dallas Cowboys 105.3 The Fan. My thing is, Cowboy Nation, we got to just still take this thing one day at a time and figure out I'm going to say this so much that is going to be carved in your mind, and carved into your DNA. Defense, defense, defense. Oh, another thing was with this whole conversation of peace that was brought up to my attention was this right here. They said Oxnard. And I said, all right, cool. When he said Oxnard, I pulled up my phone. I was looking at my vacation time. I said I needed a vacation. Look how it worked. If they are allowing fans to be in Oxnard, I don't know how, and this is going to be new to me, I don't know how Mike McCarthy is going to handle Oxnard. I don't know how Dan Quinn will handle Oxnard. But if they allow the fans to be at that particular spot and location, your brother from another mother is looking at doggone plane tickets to get out there. I got Jay Versick, man. Spit your mind, fam. Talk to me. Give me a few seconds, Jay. Hold on for a few seconds. I forgot they can't hear you when I do it this way. Give me a few seconds. I got to do this. It ain't going to take me much longer. Drop this down right here. We building a plane while it's in there. Jay, talk your mind.
What's up, Law? Man, no. Like I was saying in chat box, yeah, this is definitely the time for us to want to start building our defense, because one thing has been shown is like we really hurt there, and I don't feel like we need to really add too much on our offense. Maybe another O-line person, but to be honest, I don't feel like another tight end or something, because we have the weapons. Yeah, I mean, it's stated, you can never have enough weapons, but at the end of the day, our most important part is our defense, because next season we're facing like contenders, and what good is having weapons on your offense when your defense still sucks?
Yeah. I mean, the name of the game is having more points than the opposition or the opposing team. And one thing about defense, it travels. It goes goes wherever you want to go. And football, I believe football is a tale of two seasons within one, meaning that the first few months, or I guess the first month itself, is hot climates. The weather is nice. Offense can really thrive. But as the time and the weather get treacherous, guess what? The defense tend to thrive. So we're going to have to work on our defense, and we're going to have to stop the run, and we got to make teams pay when they do certain things. So that's what I believe the team needs, a better defense.
I do agree, because it's just that for me, because one thing I noticed that once I look at the teams that we've been playing, especially the last 2 years, once they start establishing a run, it's like our defense get worn out, and then when Dak has to play from behind, it's like it's already too late. Yeah, we can catch up in numbers, but all I just need is one more touchdown, and the game is basically over from that point. Browns is a good example. Like how the way OBJ literally just ran around our defense and then ran all the way to the end zone. It's like nobody was able to get him, but it's like this is the issues we need to establish going into next season, because you think Mahomes is going to let us be able to come back from the way we did? The way we did or try to. Yeah, same thing with Brady, Saints, and everything else.
Yeah, and we've seen it. Those good quarterbacks, those prolific quarterbacks, even Dak Prescott, they say it's garbage time yards or what have you. But if you got a weakness on your defense, they will carve you up. And I believe the Texans are a living example of that, because they jumped really up. They jumped up quick on the Kansas City Chiefs. And then guess what? Their defense wasn't really like it was in the past. And bam. As soon as you look up again, I guess it was a battle back and forward, and they end up losing. But I'm gonna let Michael jump in, Jay, and all right, bro. Back Appreciate you, Mike. What's good? You're live, Mike. You're not live, Mike. All right.
Ask you the Tolos to join.
All right. So what we're gonna do is, Mike. Let me try you one more time. Mike, unmute yourself. Mike, let me kick you out of here, man. Just jump back in when you get a chance, man. All right, so Cowboy Nation, those are the things, and I believe what Jay Versick is saying. And shout out to you, Asmodeus, BPA first. That's my philosophy. Best player available first. And Slater, we saw what he was able to do in his combine or his pro day or what have you. The brother's just slanging stuff around, looks like he's fast and elusive and all of those things, which would be great for this team if we can get an offensive lineman too with a 10th pick. But we got to look at it like this. Who is the best player available? And if it's a defensive player that you got higher on your board and you looking at Slater, you better not go grab Slater. You better grab that defensive player, PPA. Trust your board. Don't window dress it. Don't do that. Don't do it that way, right?
Minnesota North.
They're still on commercial break. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? Shout out to you, Joe. Italy. Joe, I see you, man. What's up, Cowboy Nation? Watching all the way from Italy. Great press conference. Appreciate you, Joe. Let me know what time it is over there, right? Sean, thank you for jumping in on the Facebook. I really appreciate everybody that's on the Facebook. Mike went to bed. It was like when I click on his link, he was just frozen like. The Wi-Fi monster got him, yeah, I can't call right now, Law, but I'm driving. This is Italian Cowboy. Yeah, be safe on the road. Let me know if y'all on 95 over there, baby. You know how I go, midday live, like 95. Yes, accept him today. Romans 10 and 9. Yeah, appreciate you, Sean, spreading the gospel over there. Yeah, it's 11 p.m. Look, that's the dedication for the nation, because you always here when we jump in and we do these live shows. I really appreciate you, especially for all your love and adulation for this thing. Let's see if they're back live. I love
11
them.
chances for you to.
They're still on commercial break. All right, I'm going to try Mike again. Mike! Mike, you're live. Hello? Can you hear me, Mike? Mike. Mike. For this song, all I need is one mic. Mike. Mike over there vaping and everything, having a good time with himself. Come on, Mike. 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 All right, man, Mike, you ain't no good, man. Your Wi-Fi monster, your audio is just ain't no good.
All the way to that jar, and they were running back and forth. I must have wiped out 300 ants at that break with my thumb alone. I was hammering them. I got the raid out here, but I don't know. I might have opened
Killer
the
Mike.
I don't know how many soldier ants have been dragging honey back to a hive now. It might be the size of East Dallas.
Dude, if you've got 300 in there, you've got 3,000 somewhere.
I know.
I got you got a problem on your hands.
I hate ants too. I see one or two ants, and I know how bad it can get. My mom was paranoid about ants as a kid.
Yeah, they talking about nothing right now. So Stephen Jones, his presser starts at the top of the hour. I think we can squeeze it out to that time frame. And let me see, Mike. I'm gonna try you again, Mike. I'm gonna have to kick you out, fam. You're in the waiting room, but we can't. Mike, unmute yourself. I'm going to kick him out again, man. I kicked Mike out. I'm going to post a link in the description box, man. If y'all want to save Mike, man, let me see if I can do this. Bam. I'm going to copy this right here. Copy. And we're going to go right here and drop that other link in it so you guys can get. Yeah. Bam. Somebody says, Terrence says, can't keep playing from behind. You're right. We got to, look, I'm with the belief you got to score early and often, right? You got to score early and often. Evans, man, help us out, man. Talk to me.
Well, I just got on what you're talking about.
Well, did you get a chance to listen to the press conference with Dak Prescott?
Yeah, I heard. I watched the whole thing on the Dallas Cowboys report.
Oh, on the report. Okay. Yeah, they were pretty good, man. So what's your thoughts on Dak Prescott?
I mean, my thoughts is, man, listen, he deserves every bit of all the money that he got this year. Mm-hmm. And I know it's gonna come a time in the season this year where he's gonna probably have like a game trophy, probably a pick. And everybody gonna be down his throat because this is the money that we paid for, the type of money that we paid for this quarterback. Like me personally, I don't like how everybody judged that. It's not fair that on one hand everybody can praise Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson is a good quarterback. Like, I have nothing against Deshaun Watson at all, but it's like it's not fair that on one hand they can say Deshaun Watson is worth the $39.5 million per year, but Dak not worth $40 million. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not fair. You can't do that. You can't sit up and then it's funny because his own fan base will sit up and be like, oh, he's not worth the $40 million. And it's like, You tell me what other quarterback is worth $40 million, because Dallas don't got no good track record whatsoever with quarterbacks.
Well, yeah, but that's part of the problem. Our track record in the past was marvelous with the quarterback. You know, Roger Staubach, the Danny Whites of the world, although he didn't win it as a ring or what have you. And then Troy Aikman. Then from Troy Aikman, yeah, we had some doggone desert situation. And then Tony Romo. It just shattered all of the records. But then Dak Prescott come about. And if Dak Prescott, even on the year, I believe it was 2018, if he just can play consecutive years of like that, like 2018, like let's say 6-7 years, or even like he played 2019, he would shatter all of the Cowboys record. But the reason why people are so angry and upset, I believe, is because of the fact that, you know, all of these years of not winning the Super Bowl, and somebody got to be to blame. Somebody got to be the fault, and it's Dak Prescott.
It's like with that, though, let's like me personally, I look back at that 2016 year.
Mm-hmm.
We had a chance. It wasn't the team's fault. Me personally, I blame Jason Garrett for that game, because if y'all take an actual look at that last series, right after we kicked the field goal, Jason Garrett spiked the ball. Mm-hmm. We had one timeout left. Jason Garrett spiked the ball with like 40-something seconds left.
Maybe Steven was saying,
give Aaron Rodgers the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
We was down the whole game. That brought us back in that game. Jason Garrett spiked the ball, gave Aaron Rodgers the ball back just for Aaron Rodgers to run down the field. Throw that one. I mean, it was a hell of a pass that he threw across the middle. Yeah. And it just set him up to win the game. I mean, it wasn't his fault, just like in 2018, 3rd and 20. Was Dak on the field when Jared Goff ran for them 20 yards?
No, he wasn't. They had a real hell of a slow start in the defense at that time. Man, it was just like, damn, why everybody getting injured on their front? You know, we had a guy number 51 that was out there. Even Antoine, he had a decent year that year, and he had his shoulder all messed up. It got so bad that the guy that Crawford, he got injured too. So we had a decimated front, and they were trying to do anything they could to stop the bleeding. So they had to kick D-Law on the opposite side, and it was just nasty for us. We had a putrid offensive line as well going against Sue, and people got to realize that Aaron Donald. Don't you know how powerful Aaron Donald is?
Man, he's no joke.
And we had guys like Joe Looney and Connor Williams first time playing inside. And it was just a mess. And that was the first year that La'el Collins was pretty much playing right tackle. So it sounds like a bevy of excuses, but when you really just sit back and just look at it, fam, you say, damn, man, come on, coach. You got to change something up. Just ain't going to continue to work. It ain't working. Because Ezekiel Elliott, that's the guy. See, so many people are so fixated on first-round talent. Ezekiel Elliott was your first-round talent. He was your 4th overall pick. So if you're not able to get him going, then what do you expect? But people wanted Dak Prescott to just do it all, you know, and it just wasn't possible.
And it's just like, man, you can't doubt him. You can't say, oh, all his stats is garbage time stats when they trying to get Zeke involved into the game, and it's hard when you just keep running Zeke up the middle. Zeke ain't getting no games. Then it's like 3rd and 10. If you really need money, guys,
this is
like it's just crazy how he just takes so much criticism for a person that I don't hear no reports on Dak whatsoever about him off field having problems off field. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, other than that party situation, but I mean, I don't get it, man. Like,
oh man, it is what it is, man. The goalposts will always continue to move, and it doesn't matter how much evidence you can present. They're going to look at the hardware. I put out a post earlier yesterday, Evans, and it was about Peyton Manning.
Oh,
there's so many people came to Peyton Manning defense was like, hey, wait a minute, whole different era. You remember when Peyton Manning and the other quarterback during the time when they was making all of these moves and stuff, wasn't a single soul saying, hey, this is not the early 90s, this is not the 80s. They just gave Peyton Manning the credit. And then what people, they continue to move the goalposts. They act like Peyton Manning, they act like Marshall Faulk was trash. They like, man, he didn't have nobody. Marshall Faulk. And then they'll say, well, hey, he didn't have any receivers. I'm sitting there like, excuse me? Marvin Harrison?
You forgot one more, Law. You forgot one more running back.
Wayne, and then after Marshall Faulk, he immediately had Edge.
Yeah, they always forget about Edge.
They forget about Edge. And they forget about Jeff Saturday. I ain't talking about Jeff Tuesday. I'm talking about Jeff Saturday.
Like,
Tyreek Glenn. Oh, my goodness.
In the discussion this morning on Twitter about that, like, he like, man, but Peyton took his team 4 or 5 out of the years to the AFC Championship game. That's because Indianapolis put a defense around Peyton. He put a team around something that Dallas missed. When you got your quarterback paying less than what, $2 million, you're supposed to go out in free agency and go put a defense around there before you give them the money.
No doubt, man. Let me see if they live right now on the 105.
Okay.
Anything else, though? Your whole life, you've always assumed it's better to own a vehicle
back to the stream
than
in a few.
lease it, right? Because I'm going to pay this off. I'm not going to have a
Choctaw
car
and
payment.
Michael, man,
and
y'all
maybe that
hold
made
tight.
sense, but what about now? Over the past 10 years, new vehicle prices have risen up 40%. And to keep payments low, traditional finance companies are offering terms up to 84 months now, 7 years. Really expensive vehicles.
Yeah, they're still talking about that. I can't wait. I think he's going to be at the top of the hour at 4. Cowboy Nation, so I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying. And this is not me trying to say Dak Prescott. And this is another thing. When people pull up this right here, let me see if I can find it right quick. The first thing people are saying, oh, Law is saying that Dak Prescott is better. No, I'm just pulling out the fact that in the first 69 games, that this is the trajectory. This is the pathway. And they say, well, Law, the rulings and all of this stuff changed in the NFL as far as the illegal contact and things like that. Well, excuse me. When Brett Favre and Peyton Manning and all of these guys breaking all of these records, nobody mentioned the rulings. Nobody mentioned the changing of the game. But all of a sudden when Dak Prescott started doing it, or even when Pat Mahomes started doing it, or even when now the other guys are doing it now that more so on the Cowboys side, oh, it's because they're changing the rulings. Because they changed it. No, it's the same football, fam. It's the same situation. You can throw the ball or you can't. And if that's the case, there will be no such thing as bad quarterbacks in the NFL. All of the quarterbacks should be throwing 6,000 yards. Every last one of them is the exact same argument that I posted out last year. I put up last year. If Dak Prescott is doing this in garbage time, how come when Dak Prescott left, how come the other quarterbacks, how come we didn't see Ben DiNucci put up 450 yards? How come we didn't see Andy get down Dalton put up 450 yards? Where was all of his production? It was the same pretty much situation with the wide receivers. So all of a sudden in garbage time, it only exists with number 4s on the field. Oh, my goodness. It's just crazy. It get crazy when people stick to one side of it and never look at the full picture.
Biggest fun in Texas.
It's crazy. Let me see who else we got over here in the waiting room. Appreciate you guys, man, for doing this. Choctaw, man, what's good, fam? Talk to me.
What up, fam?
It's your world, man. Hey, I'm just trying to live in it. What you got?
I ain't really got much, man. I just want to say congratulations, Dak Prescott. It's about time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people, tweaking like, oh, we can't go defense. We can't do. I'm pretty sure they'll figure a way out. Just chill. We got time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My thing is, yeah, you're right. We got time. We got to bring it in. This team going to have to really, really get on the right pathway, because pretty much now everybody's going to have an off season. So the Mulligan stuff is gone, right?
Right. So with all that said, we still got draft.
Facts.
Of course they're going to get a couple free agents in. But every Cowboy fan should know this. They want their own people. They really don't want guys that's already being used up and abused. They want to mold their own guys.
Right.
And see what they got in their own guys. So I just want everybody to calm down, chill out.
Mm-hmm.
We got our guy. We don't have to worry about quarterback situation.
No.
Our guy is happy with our team. We don't have a Deshaun Watson that's upset
Right.
with his organization. We don't have a Russell Wilson that's upset with with their organization.
Mm-hmm.
We got a guy, that wants to be with his team.
Facts.
So, everybody just need to relax and just chill out and just enjoy the ride. But like I said, they signed that man, that type of money.
Oh, yeah.
There's no other option. You have to win a Super Bowl now.
Well, my thing is the Super Bowl, that's the caveat. That's the main thing. That's the cherry. That's everything, right? And there's incentive to get there.
Right.
But what we need to see from Dak Prescott, now I do know, and I'm not sitting here saying that, okay, and speaking out both sides of my mouth, but just because you got paid doesn't mean you play better, right? But our expectations for Dak Prescott should be, hey, dog, you're a luxury vehicle now. You getting paid these coins, this bag. We want to see results. And the team, one thing that I can say, even with the Philadelphia Eagles, I can't stand them. At least the owner came out, or the general manager, whoever, said, hey, we building this team around Jalen Hurts, right? He just came out and said it. So this team, they're going to have to look at it and say the same thing technically and say, okay, we got this team already built around Dak Prescott, but how can we improve this defense in order for us to get a little bit further? They're going to have to do that now. They can't just sit back and say, okay, all right, we paid you the money. We still got money left over. Figure it out your own way. No, they're going to have to still continue to build, and they got to put things in the right perspective.
You're making sports bad.
That is true. That's fact. But that's all I got. I ain't want to, ramble off on the mouth. Show. I just want to tell you I'm sitting back and watching, man.
Appreciate you, man. Salute to you, fam.
Salute.
That's a good call from Montana, man. Appreciate you, fam. Gonzalez, appreciate you. Dak to the Super Bowl. That's what I love. Speaking with those convictions. Let's see if they live right now.
Is definitely a smart bet.
They got the world's longest commercial over there. Shout out to you, Sheila Neal. Appreciate you. Everybody that's jumping in is part of this show. Mike, man, I'm going to try to bring you on again, man, as soon as this commercial break is over with and as soon as they get the conversational piece over with I'm waiting on to hear from Steven. So that's one of the key points there, and seeing if he's going to give us any information as relates to the contract negotiation with Dak Prescott and beyond. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in, by the way. I really do. They're finna jump on right now in a few seconds. Shout out to you, Ben. Appreciate you, fam, for jumping in. Who else we have here? JS236. Thank you for being part of this thing. I'm very confident. Okay, very confident in Dak. He will handle his side of the fence just fine. That's what I'm talking about. I love that. I love hearing that.
Jones right here on your home of the Cowboys.
There we go.
And he's going to join us for a good 15-minute
Oh, this is going to be a 15-minute. So y'all sit back, go grab your Kool-Aid, go grab your drinks or what have you, and go grab something to eat because it would be a 15-minute deal.
Afternoon, sir, and congratulations on getting that deal done.
Good afternoon, guys. Yeah,
Let me know if y'all can hear in the chat.
Fired up over here about about getting that deal behind us, and it's just we couldn't have happened to a better person in our organization than Dak, and we're just pumped about what our future holds for us and our quarterback of the future. And, as you look around the landscape in the NFL right now, there's a lot of moving parts in these quarterback positions. And for us to have ours locked down with this quality of an individual is certainly makes Jerry and I feel great.
Well, that press conference got rave reviews from Dak and you and Jerry. Would you say, though, talking negotiation-wise, is Dak one of the more worthy opponents in the world of negotiations from a player side you guys have dealt with?
I thought Jerry's quote was incredible. He said if he was ever going to be taken advantage of financially, he's glad it was the guy sitting to his right, which was Dak. And but no, he's Dak's just he's got just such a mental toughness, a conviction about himself. He certainly, we've always believed in him, but, he's just able to compartmentalize and focus and go. And, he's just amazing. And all we did is do nothing but gain more respect for him as we work through all this. Certainly, no one is thrilled that it took so long. But as you know, as I mentioned, the landscape of the quarterback market out there, you got to get this one right. And you're seeing examples of situations in the NFL when they don't get it right. You got you a full-blown mess on your hands. And I'm more convicted than ever that we got this right. And, we had some really extenuating circumstances. Obviously, this time last year, everybody was locking down for the long. They didn't know it, but it was going to be you didn't know one thing, but it was for the going to be for a long time, and certainly that didn't help matters. And then it's just at the end of the day, we wanted to get it right. We feel like we got it right, and we're thrilled about it.
So, Stephen, we constantly debate. I mean, it's sports radio, right? So we constantly talk about how good are all these players? Where does this guy rank? What is this guy worth? Blah, on and on and on and on. I wonder, what is it worth, the part that Jerry was talking about today when he said, Roger Staubach said, find a guy who's a leader? What is that part of it worth? Because even as a guy who can be cynical, because I've been doing sports radio for a while, like listening to Dak Prescott talk, you just go, man, that's a dude. That guy's going to lead the guys.
Well, you want him in your foxhole, number one. The right guy has the biggest piece of the pie, as I said today. And he just checks every box. And these key categories of leadership, of an insatiable appetite to want to be the best, to outwork everybody. He's got that Michael Irvin quality to him in terms of outworking, competing. He just checks all the boxes. And, you can, it's totally unfair to compare him to somebody like this, but obviously Tom Brady has that. And he's just a fiery competitor and a winner and a leader and a insatiable appetite to be great. I just think it's all in front of Dak, and he's going to do nothing. Jerry and I are convinced. You can imagine the time we spent with our coaching staffs, our evaluation staffs, everything, just really looking at this because you do want to get it right. I just think he checks every box.
Stephen, you thank Todd for working with you on the deal. When did you feel like that you were making progress? Was there a moment where you said, okay, I could get this thing done? Was it initially, or was it a couple of days after the first call?
Brian, you always, that's interesting. I think the biggest thing is you just get a feel when it's time. And certainly you can get a deal done at any time. I mean, you go back and say, well, could you have done it, when the season was starting 2 years ago? Yes, we could have done it. And we had certain convictions at that time and wanted to make sure it was the right deal for the team. And there's some unknowns out there. But, I think from the time we talked for the first time when we could talk this year about his future, it was just a different tone. I'm sure he would say I had a different tone, and I think, I could just hear it that, they were ready to get this done. And that doesn't mean anything that you could, there was going to be any type of easy work to be done, but we were in great communication every step of the way from the start of this negotiation starting this year.
Well, I'm going to make you mad, but this is not the first time I've made you mad, so I'll ask this question anyway. You and Jerry were talking about economics, though, and was maybe last year with the way the landscape, was his ask maybe too much for you given what the economic landscape was to make that deal last year?
No, I never have an issue with what someone asked for. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion on what value is. I think probably everybody had it right. I think our biggest holdups is we were real close a lot of times. It was just, it was the length of the contract. And as I told Dak, we're trying to figure out ways to sign you up longer and keep you around longer, not less. And I think that was just at the end of the day was, the battle, if you will, the negotiation, not a battle. The negotiation was, it was just term. And when you know that, you were always real close if you were willing to, if you were willing to go a certain way or they were willing to go a certain way on term, then it probably would have been done in quick order.
It's Stephen Jones with us here in your home of the Cowboys 105.3 The Fan. Last year's free agent class with guys like, Worley and Don Terry Poe, Everson Griffin, Clinton Dix, those guys didn't really work out for you guys. Excuse me. Do you feel like this year, with the unique circumstances of the cap, that you'll be able to get a different caliber of player at a discounted or at a reasonable rate?
Well, let's go back to the point. Anytime, I think it was a different situation this year, not being able to work with the players. And I think it makes it even more difficult when you're bringing in free agents from other teams and you're not able to get them into your culture, into your environment, and working with them. And I think that's, a big part of it. And then you throw in the fact that we had a brand-new coaching staff for the most part, then, that made it all the more difficult. And certainly on defense, unlike offense, where we kept a lot of the same language, we had a lot of the same concepts, they got their, able to get their hands around that. On defense, we were making some significant changes. And then you add the fact that you got guys coming in from other teams. And of course, that's where we did most of our work was on the defensive side of the ball in free agency to try to fill some needs before the draft. It just, I think it really highlighted the issues that were at hand. So, but having said all that, which is a mouthful, I do believe it'll be interesting. And every year it's this way that you can be efficient in free agency, but I fully expect us to go back to having the success we've had in previous years. With finding some value in free agency.
Is this a year where you're going to be looking at restructuring veterans? Do you anticipate doing one or more of those?
Absolutely. I mean, certainly that's going to be a part of it. We're going to have a pretty locked into a lower cap. So, we've got certainly a topic of conversation in the press conference, as we move into the future with new media deals. Certainly, your thoughts are that the cap will get better in due time, and so we're going to have to really manage through this. And as I said, whenever it came to helping this team, whenever that was the negotiation, they were all in. Dak and his agent on structure and how to get this, the best situation cap wise, what's best for the team. He was always quick to. Want to help. And so I just feel like we are looking at some reworks to make sure, that we give our team and going into the draft, we're able to fill some of our needs and not have to draft based on need.
Now, Steven, I'm going to take a wild guess at the contracts you'll restructure. I'm going to go with Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, and Lyle Collins, since Todd Archer tweeted it out literally as Gavin was asking that question. So it says 17.
I was wondering, I was saying, man, he's good.
He says roughly $17 million in cap room. Can you elaborate? I mean, I know in general the word is defense, but can you elaborate on what you view as the needs to fill before the draft with that money?
Well, as I said today, certainly, we took a huge step from the get-go when we hired Dan Quinn. Certainly, he's got a lot of skins on the wall. He's a Super Bowl head coach. Certainly was right there on the cusp of winning one and got away from him. But, the one thing about Dan is, players want to play hard for him. And he's certainly got a great defensive mind. That's where certainly he was the coordinator there in Seattle when the Legion of Doom there, and they won their Super Bowl in Seattle.
No. Boom! Don't say Doom.
He just brings a great culture, I think, to the defensive side of the ball. And, we've got some good players over there. We just, we just unfortunately didn't play well this year on that side of the ball. And I think Dan will get it, get it to where guys like D-Law and Randy Gregory and young guys like Tristan Hill and Gallimore, and then get Leighton and Jalen playing like they played before. Obviously, Dono Wilson showed up great in the last half of the year when he got his opportunities. There's some pieces that are there, but yes, we've got to get out there, whether it's the draft or free agency, and really strengthen the defensive side of the ball. We just feel so good if we can keep everybody healthy about our offensive football team, getting Dak back, getting that offensive line back, the three you just mentioned, Lyle and Tyron and Zach, get them back healthy, get Blake Jarwin back. We've got a good receiver core. Just feel good about the offensive side of the ball. So defense is obviously going to be a point of where we're really going to be looking to get better.
And Stephen mentioned in the defense, have you guys given any thought about the Leighton Vander Esch, the fifth-year option? Can you give us any insight on that?
Yeah, we're not ready to speak to that just yet, and certainly we'll be going over that. But we have had, which is another great positive, is getting Dak's situation behind us, because it has. There's been a lot of energy put into that over the last month, and really fired up to get that in our rearview mirror so we can really, obviously Will's been doing his work. He hadn't been involved in the negotiations, so he's been working hard on the draft and free agency and those type of evaluations, but not ready to speak to economically any of these guys just yet.
Well, France has got a couple of defensive players sitting out there too right now. You might want to go look at. So while you got him at the negotiating table, maybe think about some of those guys, right?
There you go.
All right.
2 for 1.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
He said Donnell Wilson. I said, who
Thank
Donnell
you.
Wilson?
Stephen Jones with us right here on your home of the Cowboys, 105.3 The Fan. As we had the press conference to start the show, thanks to Stephen. More reaction to that coming up through this hump day in the G-Bag Nation. Yes, the restructures with Lyle, Zach, and Amari, that's going to open up $17 million. He's going to need some of it for the draft class, but they should have around $12 million to play with, according to my calculations. And they got comp pick news today. 4 of them. Picks from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th round, including pick 99.
Let's go!
They got one inside the top 100 there on a comp pick.
Wow. That's how you party. You party with comp picks. Let's party.
I'm into partying, man.
Trade them up. Trade them. Let's move up. Let's go.
I'm interested in moving that 115 or 138 if it gets us a defensive player.
We got to get defense.
That 4th round. 2 4th-rounders sitting right there. Let's do that.
I'm in. All righty, it is time now for Jeff and Brian's segment of the day. Gents, where are we heading on this Wednesday?
Well, it is a Wednesday, which means it's actually time for Jeopardy next. And then all the Cowboys stuff. But DFW security is what I want to talk about first. My dudes.
Hey, man, I'm so crunk about this, man. I am. So we get more picks or what have you. We can package those things up and get into the defensive aspect of it. And from what he was saying, for everybody who's ready to get rid of Jalen, he's here. He's here to stay because he's already making plans of this new coaching staff to put out that they're going to work out with Jalen Smith. So, and he's not ready to get into details of the contract talk with LVE. So we're looking at those aspects of it. Of course, now while the Todd Francis is right in town, it would be nice. It would be nice to reach out to Todd Francis and ask him about his other clients that he got. And maybe if we can work out a detail of a deal to get them over to the Cowboys land. Yeah, that Cowboys contract with Dak Prescott, it did take a lot of energy. So hopefully by them spreading out this, they're going to make a move. The Dallas Cowboys going to make a move by extending and stretching out this for some player. All I want is some quality. I want some quality over quantity. As we can get one quality guy, I'm looking for 2. I'm flat out looking for 2 players in the free agency, not a multitude of players, but just 2. If we can just get 1 or 2, but I'm looking for 2 that we can get right before the draft, and then we can start planning around that. Shout out to you, Antoine. I saw you up there earlier in chat, man. Let me see. I'm gonna try you again, Mike. Mike, Call back, Mike. Mike, man. Look, Mike was just chilling over there in the lobby area, doing his thing, and man, oh man, he just disappeared over there. He's still waiting to get in, but I don't know if his mic is not working, if you can say that several times. But that is the link to jump in to be a part of the show. Mike, your mic ain't working, Mike, if I could say it that way. So we actually need to look into this team and say to ourselves, it's closer than what it appears to be, but we got to really still will and deal. Shout out to you, Brian Bradford. Shout out to you, Ben. Appreciate you for jumping in. All right, Mike, I'm gonna try you. Look, this is the last time, Mike. It's for real now. Mike, what's up? Look, he got the Cowboys shirt on and everything. Mike, come on, man. Come on, Mike. Come on, man. You there, man. You live, Mike. I love the resiliency, man. I love it. But let me see if I can show you. Let me see if I can bring up Mike right quick. Let me see. Bam. Properties.
Can you hear me, Law?
I can hear you now, fam. I can hear you now.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. You got to turn your radio down.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
All right, can you hear me, Law?
Yeah. I mean, you were chilling over there, man, like a villain. But talk to me. What's on your mind? Hurry up. Get it out, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mike. Your resiliency, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. We can see you now. I even took the time to put you on the screen so people can see you, man. You've been waiting here forever to get in. But talk your mind, speak your mind, do all of that stuff, man. Good. Go ahead with it. You got terrible Wi-Fi, Mike, man. I tried all I can, man. I'm going to have to get you out of here, man. I had to boot you out, fam. I had to boot him out, man. Look, I had to boot him out of the situation. All right, let me let my dog in here, man. What's good, man?
I'm about to get you out of here, man. I had to boot you out, fam.
You live, man.
Law, what's good with you?
Nothing to it, man. What's on your mind, man? Foes. Let me see some foes in the chat box, man.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy right now. See, look, you'll be mad at me to know how I felt 2 months ago or a month ago, but I'm happy because of the 22 mil on the cap. That right there made it all better. That made it all worth it. I'm happy we got our quarterback. I'm happy.
We got him.
Oh yeah, I'm happy, bro. I'm happy. Just like you, I want two free agents. I'll take one, but like I said, I'm just happy. I just had the fours up while I was watching the post conference.
Fours all the way. And look, people are trying to take what he's saying that he got faith into gambling, right? That brother got faith. He said, like, look, man, I know what I'm capable of, right? I know what I'm able to do. So all we're going to do now is sit back and see what he's able to do, right?
Listen, we know all he going to do is evolve. That's all he been doing this whole time. He been evolving. He been evolving. They showed it. Who got the most quarterback rating over 90? This boy got more than Tom Brady. He be working, and he take care of the ball. We got our quarterback, y'all. Throw them fours up. Throw them fours up, everybody.
Four fours.
I'm gonna let you get somebody else in here, though, Law.
Oh, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for jumping in, fam. Appreciate you.
Enjoy yourself.
Anytime, man. Look, that's what I'm talking about right there. You know, to jump right on it. All right. I see my dog, Stelios. You just got to connect your audio. Let me see. Yeah. Let me see you, Stelios. Yeah, once your audio connected, man. Mike, what's good, man? You live. Mike, look. We able to see you, man, but we can't hear you, man. Mike done, man. Mike, you done, fam. I appreciate you. Stelios, my brother from another mother. What's good with you, man?
Same thing, different day, man.
Oh my goodness,
Hey,
man.
Dak got his sack, bro.
Oh, he got his corn, his bread, his paper, his bag, all of that stuff.
Big time. The bag, the money, that crypto, all of it. I'm just a happy camper. They got that done. Now we need to get that defense hemmed up. Got to get that defense hemmed up. Be good. Hold on. I think I'm feeding back. Let me see.
No, I don't hear any feedback, man. Well, you know, I'm gonna let the chat people. Y'all hear any feedback on that thing? Or y'all hear Stelios?
No feedback.
No feedback at all.
Yeah, I'm sitting in my ride right now.
Are you sitting? You chilling over there?
Oh yeah, I'm sitting in my truck.
When you run across JJ, just slap him for me and say, man, you couldn't do all of that, man. You didn't have to go leave us, man. You had to leave Texas. When you see JJ, just slap him for me.
No, he didn't have to. He should have came on over. They should have came on over.
Yeah,
we could definitely use that cat. Now he's here. Now he's here in Arizona, and y'all gonna be, and we're gonna be playing him. So,
yeah.
This is mean avoid. I mean, see if they can avoid that cat, but he's gonna have to get with the program here in Arizona. But I don't care about no Cardinals.
Nah,
I don't care.
Nah. I don't care about it.
I ain't giving a hoot. I ain't giving a hoot or a holler about no Cardinals. This is cowboy country here in Arizona. Believe that.
I already
believe
know.
that. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You got it right. Yeah, one of these days we're gonna hook up. Probably when I'm about 62. That'll be the first time I probably finally meet you. But you know, you got to help me work on that beard. But
oh man, I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have, by the time you come over, man, I had that law beard butter, man. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on the airways and everywhere. It's gonna be on the Law Nation store. And I really appreciate you, man, for all of your love and adulation for the nation, man. Hey, you helped this thing out tremendously, man.
I'm your biggest sponsor. I'm your biggest sponsor.
I mean, yeah.
You know what? I need to find you a Spartan helmet with the plume, with the plume on the top, blue.
Yeah.
A silver and blue freaking helmet with that blue star, and the plume on the top is blue.
Yeah.
I need to. I'm working on that right now, but I'll see what I'll see what I can put together. Cause that'll go perfect with that beard, bro.
Oh yeah, the beard is coming out of the helmet, man. You see, the other helmet that I got is gold, so it really don't go with my flavor, man, because it's silver and blue over here. Man. When I put the gold on, it's more sort of Saints. So I was like, but I want to pull it out when we win.
Oh nah, not the Saints, no, not the Saints.
It's gold, you know.
No.
Yeah.
And then when you pop on when you live stream, you can say, "Are you not entertained?
Is this not why you're here?" Sparta. You know, when I come out that thing and be like, yeah.
Let me get off here, man. Let some of the other people in here.
No doubt, but fam. Appreciate you.
Finally, I get this thing hooked up because I tried to get on this.
Appreciate you, man.
It's brutal, man.
All right, thank you.
I'm out.
That's what I'm talking about. Spartan Warrior Stelios 300. Oh man, I see Coach. He waiting over here. But before I bring Coach on, let me see what they talking about on 105. What time it is? It's 4:29. Where we at now?
Flexible structure.
Let's see.
Resembling Gavin.
What is a shack?
No, Brian.
That's what I was going to say, Shaq.
I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, they having fun. All right, so let me bring Coach on, man. Really appreciate Coach. What's good with you?
What's going on, Law? Like this, who is the best player available?
Oh, okay, that's you over there, man. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I can see some hear some reverb there. Just turn your radio down. Let's get this thing going. Coach, what you got for the show?
You're bored. Window dress.
I'm happy Dak got his bread.
Right?
No. I still got feedback, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Go with it.
So yeah, man, congratulations to Dak Prescott, man. I think he's well deserved of the bread that he got. And I just like to say, like, I wasn't sold when we first got him because I just thought in clutch situations.
Right.
He didn't bring us through, but I like his determination. I like his work ethic, and I couldn't see a better quarterback leading us right now.
Right.
And that's just real talk, man. So hopefully now we can, focus on the defense and get this thing rolling in the right way, man. We definitely need 2 run pluggers because we were some trash against the run last year.
Facts.
And get us a safety, preferably a nice free safety. And I like the kid Surtain in the first round. You know what I mean? I like him.
Oh yeah, Pat, man. Look, my thing is with Pat, I do like Horn over Pat, but I understand that Pat he played for the Bama. You know, when you playing for Bama, you're gonna get the light, you're gonna get the glory, you're gonna get all of the good stuff. But if J.C. Horn, if you were just to pick him up and put him on Alabama's team, people will be saying J.C. Horn hands down. But I get it. I think that he's still a solid player, Patrick or Surtain. I think that even Caleb Farley of the Worlds, it may be like one of those situations like a wait and see. But I think that even he is a good situation for us. But when I look at the complete picture between the two, I won't be mad at it. But as long as the Cowboys stay true to their board, and we hearing all of these extra picks that we're going to have for this compensatory, man, I'm going to start diving deep into some of those mid-round guys and see who we can get.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Yeah.
Because you never know what we may pick up. We might mess around and get a couple of NFL stars, man, in that 4th round.
Oh, yeah. It flat out can happen. I mean, you know, that's what I'm looking for in the draft. See, it's easier to pick the what do you call it? The first 50 players. It's easy to look at them and say, yeah, they're going to do this. But where your meat and potatoes come at in the 3rd and 4th round, or if you can find talent in that area, and hopefully, you know, the Dallas Cowboys did their homework, and we'll find some guys that can be a part of this team and fight for that position. We shouldn't give it to them, but they should fight for it. You know what I'm saying?
No question, man. You hit the nail right on the head. So, I even like the kid. What's the kid from Florida State, the D tackle? Wilson.
Oh yeah, you talking about Marvin? Yeah.
Marvin Wilson.
Who
knows, man? If he falls, I mean, you know, you might grab him, a ball more.
Yep.
And shoot, them 2 pluggers right there.
You see, the draft is such a fickle process, and you really pretty much, you know, would never know how a actual player will just try to flip things around once he become, you know, a Cowboy player. You know, it is what it is. I even like the kid, James Wiggins. You know, you remember him, Cincinnati? Have you seen him? Have you seen his tape?
I haven't.
I haven't. You know, in the later rounds, if you get James Wiggins, I like to see that. That's a dog for me, man. That's one of the guys from Cincinnati. I like to see him play on the next level. So there's so many ways we can look at this as it relates to that.
Definitely, because the way I feel it, if we do build defense, like D-Law saw a lot of double teams last year, and yeah, he was good against the run. That's only because we didn't have a 1 or 3 technique that demanded a double team. So if they demand a double team, I feel like that would put the linebackers in better position, like Leighton Vander could play Mike. That allows him to roam freely to go make tackles. I believe Jalen can play Will or Sam. I think he's good enough to play Will or Sam. But because he can run, I will put him at the Will and maybe draft the Sam. Or go through free agency to get a Sam linebacker. But if you get those 2 That 1 and that 3 technique, that would allow your defensive ends to be one-on-one, and they can get to the quarterback. Both of our DNs, and can't forget Alden Smith now. I mean, all of our DNs have shown they are able to get to the quarterback, but they need help from the D tackle position.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I wish that they, and I know they only had like 15 minutes with. Appreciate you, David, for sending the super chat, and also appreciate you, David, for sending the Cash App. But I wish that they would have asked Stephen Jones, like, what are y'all plans with Alden Smith? What are y'all plans with Jalen Smith? With Jalen, not Jalen, but Jordan Lewis. What are your plans with the guys that we already have? Is there certain guys that you would like to retain? And I would want to see which direction Stephen Jones would have tipped his hand off on that part of it, but they didn't get a chance to ask him that. But we'll find out down the line. What else you got for the show, though, Coach?
Man, I just want to tell you personally to keep it going. I love your platform. I love your content. And look, man, I'm the #1 Cowboy fan here in Washington, D.C. It don't get no better than this over here.
Yeah, I really appreciate you, Coach, man. I really, really do, man. Thank you so much, fam.
Man, sure enough, man. God bless and
salute. That's what I'm talking about, Coach Dave, man. Always here, man. Let me read some of your comments over here in the chat box. So Cal, he making good points. Yeah, he make excellent points here. And I see you, Antoine. We're gonna bring you on. Raw, just remember I told you, trust me, pay me. That's what I like that name. That name go hard. Mel says Skywalker and Patrick and PW is Patrick Walker, right? Patrick Watkins. Shut all of that picks talk down last night. Well, I had to check into that. We need a defensive tackle. The BPA philosophy is still BPA philosophy. Antoine, talk to me.
What's going on, though?
Into it, man. It's your world, man. How you living?
Man, I'm good. I'm just getting off work, man. But hey, everybody talking about the corners, but we got to talk about the defense and ends, man. If you look this year right here, we got D-Law, Randy Gregory, Bradley, and Nye. The ones on strong. When D-Law got off the field, man, we had trouble, man. So we got to look at that defensive end spot either in the third round or something, because we need help, or in free agency.
So you're looking at it like, okay, so all of these guys, they pretty much on the last end. What if they just do deep BPA and say, okay, quit pay? He's one of our better guys. Would you be mad at that? Would you start moving furniture around, or you say, okay, hey, with the 10th pick, they wanted to quit pay, or they wanted to trade down a little bit? You know, how do you feel about that?
I wouldn't mind trading down with the extra compensatory picks we got. We can flip this roster around, because that's something we're gonna need to do, and especially in that secondary, we need to bring a veteran in there. Yeah, Diggs got 1 year in as a rookie. And we're going to draft another rookie to pick corner. Man, there's some things on guys not going to know in that backfield, even if they got coached up this year. They're not going to know. We need a veteran back there, man.
And they got some that's going to be on the road, man. They're going to be on the street, and they're going to have to really reach out to them and pick them up. The Dallas Cowboys just got to pay it.
Yeah, they got. Hey, I don't care if you get one good free agent. We used to get one good guy and not a bunch of washed up guys. We're just using it as depth, man. We can use that in the draft.
See, you and I are thinking the same way. You go get out there, get quality over quantity. If it's a lockdown, well, 9 times out of 10, it may not be a lockdown cornerback that's on the free agent market, but if it's a guy that's solid, that got history and experience, especially with the style and scheme that Dan is looking for, then you say, okay, all right, I'm gonna pick that end up of it, and then when we get to the draft, we're not going to force this kid to be the end-all, be-all, but we're going to slowly slide this kid in, and we're going to work at it from there. You know, that would be a good movement right there. But as far as the cornerbacks, I would rather for them to do that philosophy on the safety aspect of it, though.
Yeah. We just need somebody back there that's a veteran. I don't trust all those young guys back there like that.
John Johnson, baby. He's coming to Dallas.
Make it happen, bro.
Make it happen. Let's go. What else you got for the show?
Man, congratulations, man. You ever look back and see how far you come, man? You come a long, long way, bro.
Man, I really appreciate it, man. I try to be as humble as I can, man, with all of this. And it's people like you that always help support this thing. And regardless of whether or not I'm on Facebook or Law Nation's 2.0, Law Nation page, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, man, people like you are always supporting, man. And I love their objective thoughts, man. And I love for to have you on the show and things like that, man. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'll tell you, love. We love you, man. And keep doing the thing, man. Keep doing your thing.
Appreciate you, Antoine. Appreciate you.
All right.
That's my dog right there, man. Always support the channel. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere, man. And everywhere I go, he's there. And there's always a pleasure knowing that and having people like you all that's here that support this thing and go beyond. And trust me, when Oxnard is around, we got it's 2 weeks out there. That's 2-week vacation time, workcation, because I'm gonna be working. I'm gonna have the camera, and I'm gonna try to. I just hope let's pray that they allow us in there. You know, I'm gonna have to hit my dog Shango. What's up, man? What's good?
Peace out, honey.
I gotta go.
Relax,
Just like Becky
got
Manning,
it.
4th grade, chased me into the men's bathroom, kissed me on.
That Kavanaugh something else, man. And we will be kicking it out with Cav when he's out there in Oxnard. Him and Fish, man. We will have a good time out there. And hopefully they allow us to, move around and get around Cowboy Nation. So I'm getting all my mind together. And shout out to Jerry Jones for all of that. Asmodeus, appreciate you. I think lower projected player poses that will to fight more than higher ones because they feel like they have something to prove. Are you talking about for the draft or the free agency? Because now, and I really appreciate you for the $9.99 for your mind. Asmodeus, man, you one of those people too, man. Always supporting the channel. Whether I'm on Law Nations 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, you're there, man. I really appreciate you. Deshaun, Taylor, appreciate you. Always with the support. All of y'all, man. Look, we are family, your mama and your sister and me, however that song go. Y'all sing that song, man, because we are family, man, and we might not look the same. We might not look alike. And I'm a country guy from the South. I talk real country, people trying to correct. And I be like, look, man, I'm from the country, man. I can't really put those words like that, but I really appreciate y'all, Truth only, $24.99 special. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. For all of y'all making these donations, man. Hey. Let me see if I can just give you one of these. Yeah.
This is Sparta.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all, man. Look at it. Ronnie Perkins, Antoine, you really in love with that one. They need to grab him in the third defensive edge guy. All right, I'm going to really look at Ronnie. Good old Ronnie, defensive edge man. We need help. We need help on defense all the way. Let me see where Ronnie. Okay, so I see this little list I could pull up. Basham is a little bit ahead of him according to this list, but I'm not going to go by this list. I'm going to actually try to see if I can pull up Ronnie Perkins' information here. And he played, but I got the all 22 on him too, so I'm going to really look into his film for you, man. Shout out to you, Italian Cowboy. Absolutely, Orwin Middleton, appreciate you, fam. Shout out to you. Middleton, I'm related to some Middletons. Let me know where you from. We might be blood. Let me see what else we got over here. King, what's good? You what you mad about, man? Because people are saying since my parents are essential workers, they are scammers. King, don't look at it. King, Aladdin. Essential workers, everybody got their hands, the index finger is different from the thumb, but it's all important. All of that stuff is important. Every hand is vital, it's valuable too. Let's see what they're doing now. Let's see if they
of your daily routine with 105.3 The Fan.
It's still on commercial break. The longest commercial. How long I've been live, you know? How long, y'all let me know how long I've been live for the midday live show. It's 4:44 where I'm at. Y'all let me know. And normally, and don't crucify me, Cowboy Nation, I go live here on the Law Nation 2.0 page. I rip it and I put it back on the Law Nation page. We gotta keep the oil alive. We gotta keep the oil pumping over there, baby, until I get out of YouTube jail. So y'all bear with me. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Y'all understand. Jackson, Mississippi, stand up. Appreciate you. Edwards, yeah. The sip all day, every day, baby. Y'all know how this thing go. I try to be transparent. Oh, an hour and 34 minutes? Okay, I need to get on out of here. Yeah, I need to get on out of here, man. Let me see.
Pick the purple card for the show.
Yeah, I need to get on out of here. I got some stuff that I got to do anyway. I might jump live again later on tonight, but in between time, you got to just look for some short videos, something like that. Shout out to you, Sheila. Appreciate you. So I might do some shorter videos, and you guys will see that circulating throughout. Shout out to, let me just do this then while I'm setting up everything. We'll play this because I think the people on my Facebook didn't get a chance to, because it takes so forever for me to upload stuff. So let me see if I can just do the cheap way. Y'all bear with me. Yeah, come on. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's figure this thing out one way or another. We got to get this thing going. My name is Law Nation. Hey, there's a lot of things that's going on with this team, especially about what Jimmy Johnson said when he was on the show with Colin Cowherd.
If Dak's going to have success, they've got to shore up that offensive line. You know, they can't count on Tyron Smith and Zach Martin and all those guys being healthy because they weren't healthy this year. They've got the receivers. They've got as good a receiving core as there is in the league. But you don't know, is Ezekiel, is he going to be able to be successful with no offensive line? So I think they got to get him a couple of offensive linemen as well, just to ensure that what happened last year won't happen this year.
What do you like about Dak and what concerns you?
I think he's a great leader for the team. I think the team really rallies around him. So he is a positive influence there. And, you know, he fit into their system. He has had problems at times being inaccurate. But with that receiving core, you know, he gets people open. So I like Dak, and I'm kind of like you. I think he can win you a championship if he has great players around him. I don't think Dak can carry a football team if he doesn't have great players around him.
Now, I know a lot of people look at it like, hey, see, Law, I told you. Look, here's the situation. I think that a lot of people are reading too much into it. I think that a lot of people are looking at it and saying to themselves, hey, see, Law, I told you. The reality of it is that at the end of the day, every quarterback need a team. There's not one quarterback that can win a team or win the Super Bowl or win games by themselves. It's not. This is an ultimate team game. And what he's saying, that he believed that Dak Prescott is a good quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, as well as with Roger Staubach. He believed that the Dallas Cowboys have a great situation with Dak Prescott. Now, I know the accuracy talk and the conversation will always be that. It will be just that. He's not accurate. He can't hit water if he fell off a boat. I hear it. I understand it. But at the end of the day, we cannot put toothpaste back into the tube. We just got to look at it from here and say, okay, Dak Prescott is our quarterback. That's the decision that the Joneses made. I didn't make the decision. You guys didn't make the decision. That came from Jerry Wayne Jones. Dak Prescott, the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys for the next 4 years. So how can we move from that point, right, and start talking about players that we can bring on this team to help elevate this team to new levels? This is not Dak Prescott versus Romo. This is not Dak Prescott versus any other quarterback in the National Football League. This is the Dallas Cowboys, how we can improve this team. Now, the salary cap and these sorts of things, I know a lot of people want to look at the numbers and say, well, hey, Law, that's just too much money. Well, we got money now. We got enough money to go out there to dance around into free agency to grab 1 or 2 players. Now, the expectations of the salary cap, it went down. Of course, we had it projected to be anywhere from between 182 to 189, close to 190 million dollars. They decided to have the cap at 182, right around that number there. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that because it's only a difference of what? 1 player. A difference of, let's say, a McCoy signing that type of guy during his offseason. That's how much it is of a difference. But we still have reserve money that kicked over from last season. It was right around $24 to $25 million that stretched over and kicked over for this year. So that still put us in good standings, with that being said, above the cap. But we got to use the money that we got wisely. I know that $8 to $9 million is going to go towards what? The young draft picks that we go out there and pick up. But outside of that, I think, and I really feel that the way this team is heading, just like what Jimmy Johnson said, not just one player played bad on defense, the entire defense played bad. It was horrible. They tried to put in a new system. But I believe, I really do believe that if Dan Quinn can put his fingerprints on his defense, put his philosophy, bring in some things that can help this team out, baby, I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. But in order for all of that to happen, we still got to take things one day at a time. So with that being said, we know for sure that defense wins championships, right? I got to put that out there every time I give this speech. Defense wins championships. But we was historically bad last season. Regardless of how you look at it, if we can improve, and I'm saying this word improve, on their front 4, bring in somebody. There's guys out there during this free agency. And what I said on my last video is that, hey, when we look at this thing, hear me out. When we look at this thing, collectively speaking, when we look at the front 4 and we think about how can we improve the edge guys, because the edge guys can't get home, I really believe that DeMarcus Lawrence, he would do another solid job, right? I believe that Randy Gregory all offseason, we won't be thinking, hey, will he play? Can't play? Will he be suspended? Will he not? Look, we can know for sure now. We don't have to worry about that, right? We don't. And when you add in the fact that, of course, Antoine Woods, Navell Gallimore, we want to see how he can propel himself for his second year. And Tristan Hill, can he elevate himself, right? But we need that big dog inside. So my thing is Dalvin Tomlinson, he's out there. What's up? Come on in. We want to see you on the field. Cowboys, pick up the phone, call them, right? Oh, with the safety aspect, let's move up to that area of the conversational piece. Hey, John Johnson from the Rams, I think that he's available, although his price may be a little higher. Hey, the Justin Simmons sweepstake, yeah, that's over with, right? Hey, it is what it is at this point. But we got to look at it like, okay, who else we can take a real good look at? Trey Boston. What's up? What's up, Trey? There are ways that we can look at it, and I'm thinking about from the interior. I'm thinking about if we can just improve on the interior of the core of the defensive side of the ball. I'm not worried about the cornerbacks at all. I think we can get another cornerback in the draft. And if we do decide to bring back Cheeto or Woozie, Cheeto, if we can bring him back, okay, that's cool. He's solid. He's a solid cornerback. Bring him back. Let's build some things together. Because at the end, when we can improve on this defense, I tell people this offense, since Kellen Moore been calling the plays and everything, and he need to improve on some things too. He's not going to be removed of the fact that he is the offensive coordinator and is going into his third year now. All of the excuses are gone, right? All of it. You know, he got more experience, but the kid was still able to craft up plays that can get you 28 to 30 points a game. And damn it, if the opposing team can score 40 points to beat us, then it's on the defense. But I believe in the hearts of hearts, Kellen Moore, he going to have to step it up. And I give everybody that call me the Dak Prescott apologist or Dak head, I give you guys this one ammunition that you can use for the rest of the time that I'm here. I can no longer, I don't know about anybody else, I can no longer say, well, Dak Prescott was a 4th-round draft pick. No, we got to remove all of that, right? He's a $40 million quarterback now. $126 million quarterback, that's the money that's guaranteed. You can say the $160 million, but he's a $40 million quarterback. So now all of the other stuff is out the window. This is the new beginning. So regardless of the situation, I do know that money does not mean that you will play better. But now the expectations, I know that everybody say, well, Law, they got this incentive deal for Dak Prescott, the $1 million if he win the Super Bowl. Well, dog it, that should be the incentive for all of the players, believe it or not. Because every year I'm looking at every player in their eyes and saying, hey, bring it. We want the best. We determined. Hey, I want nothing but the best. I want it. And the general manager is supposed to say to all of those players out there, he's supposed to walk up to them and say, my job is to replace you. And the coach should be looking at those players in the eyes and saying, my job is to elevate you. Because that guy, if I can't elevate you, he would try to replace me. So if you can't handle this heat, then there's the door. But we're going to bring in that winner's mentality. So that's what I'm looking for out of Dak Prescott, and I know he exhibit and exude that. So no more. I don't want to hear from people from my station or people that follow and support me. I can't no longer say, hey, dog, he was a 4th-round draft pick. No, he's a $40 million quarterback now, right? So he's going to have that high expectations. Heavy is the crown, right? So that's just how it goes, Cowboy Nation. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in, for jumping into this show. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content. Let your friend, neighbor, folk know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and beyond. Once again, my name is Law Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. We out. Peace. All right. So that was me trying to show you guys how I can do see, that video was pre-recorded and I just shot it out to you guys just like that. That's the power of this computer, right? So really appreciate you all for being part of this thing. Hey, like I said, within the confines of that video, we need to have some guys out here on the defensive side. Kellen Moore also need to call better plays on the offense. And as well as Dak Prescott, he's going to be held to a different standard. And that's just how it goes from here. Ain't this right, James? Ain't this right, Quest? Elohim. And King, we really appreciate you. Choctaws, Montana 808, the creator has nothing to do with football. I don't know. I think it got everything to do with it. But as far as the results of it, it's predicated upon our minds on how we put things in the right perspectives. I once read somewhere where it says, acknowledge him in all thy ways, and he shall direct your path. And as well as bring him into the smaller things. Even if, hey, people got to look at it like this. Life and its blessings and everything, even if you find a piece of a cracker, you know what I'm saying? You hungry and you find a piece of a cracker in a drawer, you know what I'm saying? You still say, hey, praise God, you know, I got this piece of a cracker that I can eat, right? Or if it's something that's small as waking up in the morning, and know a lot of people say, well, you know, you're supposed to wake up in the morning. Something as small as that, man, just give praises to the Most High, and he will be appreciative of it. But you don't have to do it all in the opening, right? I'm not here to tell people how to think, though. Sinclair, appreciate you so much for the elevation to help raise this nation over here. We got Dak and 4 comp picks. Let's build that defense. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, Sinclair. You know, it is what it is. Quest says, yes, you're right. We'd have made it to what you call this, a religious channel, right? Appreciate everybody and their perspectives. You're right. God doesn't have anything to do with the outcome of the football, but he does have children that play football. Yeah. Now that I think of it, yeah, you're right, Quest. Yeah. The NFL is ran by a secret society. Montana. Hey, one can argue that this whole United States is ran by a secret society, right? Everything is secrecy. Conspiracy theory, conspiracy law, finna put his conspiracy hat on, right? Everything we do is designed by a certain person, right? Everything look, you go into a house, somebody, look, the craziest thing of it all, and I'm going to say this before I wrap up everything, even the chair that I'm sitting in, right? You know, one should think it, and then they create it, they made it. But there's somebody that looked at this chair and they first crafted in their minds. It's going to have a stem, and on that stem of the chair is going to have 3 areas where it's split out to wheels, and we could put wheels on the bottom of it so he can roll around, and let's put it on an axle so it can spin, right? And for comfort, look, for comfort, we're going to make it see-through so that you can breathe through this rod right here, right? And we're going to put the memory foam on the butt end so that the guy or the gal that's sitting in this chair, that they can be comfortable. Somebody just didn't put that out there. They thought of it first. It was formulated in their mind first, right? And then they put it together. They probably wrote it down. They wrote a blueprint down. Let's write the vision. So they had the vision in their head. Then they wrote it down on a piece of paper. And then they went to start moving onto it in production. But I'm quite sure that they had to pitch it to other people. So they had to tell other people about the vision and the dream. And everything was put together, right? And I'm going somewhere with this story. Everything was put together for one person thought. He really thought about it. You know, he was sitting, he probably eating his oodles and noodles. Who knows? He probably on his keto diet. Who knows? He probably just walking his dog, but he thought about, hey, what if I put the memory foam in the chair and have the ventilations on the back part so that the person that's sitting down for a long period of time, they can be comfortable. Oh, so they can move left and right. Let me put wheels on the bottom of it. That's all crafted in your mind. God can be sitting there like, man, I don't have no dealings with making chairs. But that person thought of that, right? You know, so I think God was a part of that person thinking, you know, he was part of like, hey, what about putting wheels on the bottom of it? Hey, that person who thought about making that chair is a multi-millionaire now. Let's put it in production, baby. Let's start selling chairs, you know. And that's just the simple part of just a chair, you know. I bet you his wife or significant other or whatever, why you always thinking about that metal and chair, you know? So if Dak Prescott feels that like, hey, I'm going to step out on a limb, I'm not going to gamble, but it's just my faith to be the best quarterback possible. And I believe that my value is $45 or $40 million. Somebody probably looking at it like, no, you know, you ain't worth that. But I can imagine that guy that was making that chair. Somebody was sitting, he was just sitting there talking like, yeah, one day I'm going to make this chair and I'm going to be a multi-millionaire. They said, man, dog, hush. You an essential worker. You know, you ain't really got the juice like that, right? Somebody was saying that they had problems with being an essential worker. Hey, they probably was working in a factory for many of years, right? Creating the chair. And the factory was making the chairs the wrong way. It just goes, man, it goes to show you that, you know, this world is crazy, man. It's just look around, everything that we got, man. Look, let me just see if I can remove this background stuff. And let's see. Bam. You see that football is behind me, got the shot glasses on it? Mark Holmes made that. But he realized that, like, being it one color, it kind of paint himself into a corner. I like the white. You know, I like the silver and the blue. So he put that on there. I like all of the colors for the Cowboys. And now he went from shot racks. Some people say, hey, I don't drink, but everybody have a coat. So he started making the same football. Now now it's a coat rack. I said, man, he must don't know. He got multi-million-dollar mind in his hands. Can you imagine if Jerry Wine Jones can fall in love with that doggone shot glass rack? Maybe he could put his Johnny Walker Blue on that. But about him making it, he didn't have no intentions to making it for Jerry Jones, right? Who knows? You know, it could be anybody, you know, can fall in love with your craftiness or with your hands. That's why people that build stuff, they are like, you know, they are like the first creators, man, people that can build stuff. Oh, my goodness. All right, Cowboy Nation, I've talked to you guys long enough, man. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I really do. Let me put this back up here. Cowboy Nation, let's continue to think positive about everything. Let's continue to formulate our minds in the right directions. Although we disagree with a lot of things, but I think that there's something in common with all of us. And I think that regardless of it, we either like football, love football, like the Cowboys or love the Cowboys, and we want what's best for the Cowboys, or we just like sports in general. Some people just like the beard talking to them, you know. This dude with a beard, man, he look like James Harden. Man, I just like to listen to him. I don't even care about football. You know, I heard that before. I heard people say, man, if Law could just read the phone book, man, that would be good for me. And I said, okay, cool. You know, I need to start a series, reading the phone book. All right, Cowboy Nation, that's all the time that I have for this beautiful moment. Speak those things as though they may be. Vincent Dilliard, yeah, appreciate you, man. Yeah, speak them into the existence. Thou shalt decree a thing and it shall be established. That's what that person did with that chair. Oh, man, I'm going to be a look, he probably didn't paint himself to be a multi-millionaire, but he said, hey, I'm going to have a chair where I can sit down on it and it won't hurt my backside. Bring me that memory foam pillow over here. Strap it into this bottom of the chair. Oh, man, this is good. Hey, man, that's a brilliant idea to put the memory foam under your butt. You ought to go into production with that. Nah, man, I'm good, man. I just wanted to. Well, you don't want to go to production with it. I can. That's probably what happened. That can happen, too. Other people can take your dreams and run with it. King Sir says Jones gambled on the player, but then we run into a big problems. Yeah. Appreciate you, Stanley. Appreciate you. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. I'm looking for my outro music. Here we go. Oh, I want to get you guys some of this flavor. I wasn't gonna do it this way, but we're gonna do it this way because it's 5:08 right now. I gotta go run. Let's go. Yeah. Let me see some fire emojis in the chat. Let's continue to figure these things out, Cowboy Nation. Prize fighter, even when he's down, he continued to fight. Ain't this right, Sheila Neal? He said, man, there's no hope for him. But this guy, he continued to swing. Yes, he do. And they say, man, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or lied about, don't deal in lies or hate it and yet give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster, treat those two imposters just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your whole life for, broken and stooped, and build back up again with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn, a pitch and toss, to lose, to start again at your beginnings and never breathe one word of your loss. If you can walk with kings and presidents and never lose the common touch, let that sink in. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, my friend, I'm telling you guys right now, you have unlocked the true secrets, societies of life. You have unlocked the true meaning of what it takes to be a man and a leader. And if you're a lady out there too, shout out to the ladies. If y'all unlock that too, you know how that goes. Cowboy Nation, that's all the time that I have for this moment. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content. Let that friend, let that neighbor or foe know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and Beyond. My name is Law Nation. That's LAW Nation. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Turn me up. Where my fire at, baby? Appreciate y'all putting the fire down there. Yeah, they say, Law, why do you keep using fire, huh? You see, the fire, it removes all of the impurities. It pulls out the good stuff. So I'm trying to find the fire, right? I'm trying to look for the fire. Let this fire cleanse us, right? Boom. Let's go. Let's go. Born in it. Let's go find this ring. I want that incentive too. They giving Dak $1 million. I want the incentives too. Let's go.
This is spot. This is spot. This.
Let's go.
Nowadays, nothing really is ice. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on blingin', she icy. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please, no photos. Hit the door and the dome and just whole team here might need some. Still young, but I move like a new deal to my lawyer. If you're down in my management, I'm just warming up, wait till I old producer saw the numbers one. Different colors in my baggy light. Chalk it up, talk of the town when you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things when your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I'm move up and move humble cause the hate and the jealousy. My mama telling me count up your blessings and run it up. Nowadays nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she ice. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. No, G's, no, please, no photos. I keep giving game away. I put game on layaway. I got paid to play today. I get paid to stay away. I get paid on rainy days. I might make it rain today. I got paid off pain today. Thought it'd take the pain away. In my own lane, finger roll. I would never sell my only soul. Heard your whole team was for sale. Heard it's on the market for the low. Who the realest, we might never know. All this acting, you gon' play a role. Give you the world when they sign you up. Try you out and then they line you up. Ooh, now you're looking hungry, ribs are touching, need some food. Now you're all on live acting surprised, but you was fooled. Boy, get out the way, it's been a day, now you're old news. Now you got the pen and pad, you're trying to take my moves. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she ice. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. No, G's, no, please, no photos. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she ice. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please, no photos.
All right. Appreciate everybody that jumped in. Vincent, Mike, Choctaw, Mike again, Asmodeus. We out. Salute.